Hi, I'm Mark. This is my 2022 astrology review for Aquarius Sun Sign and Aquarius Rising. We start the year on January the 1st with Jupiter changing sign and house. Now Jupiter's been in your sign for quite a while now, so you would have gained the benefit of that, and you should have grown and you should have gained confidence, and now it's time to increase in the wealth department because Jupiter moves into your second house, Pisces. Now this is a good time to bring abundance into your life. You just have to be careful that you use it wisely, and make sure that you manage your finance as well. This is a good time also for values, revamping your value system, putting true value in what you really want to, and maybe drop some of the superficial values that you may have. On the 14th of January, Mercury does his first retrograde motion. This is out of your sign and into Capricorn. So maybe some difficulties here because he'll be moving into the 12th house. You may not feel like communicating or talking to people, and it might be very difficult to understand. There might be misunderstandings within communication, so leave things until he goes direct again in 3 weeks. And by that time, on the 18th, Uranus goes direct. And it'll take a few weeks to get out of the shadow period and get full steam ahead, but there will be changes afoot. It may have felt recently you've been going over old ground, but now there will be changes coming, and this will focus on the home area. So it could be a new home, could be moving, it could be redecorating or revamping your existing home, or there could be repairs or improvements that you'll be doing. Now Uranus is direct till the 24th of August, so there's time to work with this and get these things up and going. On the 19th of January, the Moon's node changed sign and house, and this will be significant for you because the North Node moves into Taurus, and this is your 4th house again, the area of the home, and then the South Node moves into the 10th house, which is Scorpio, and this is your area of career. So there's a balancing act to be done here, but it's also great growth can be achieved in these areas. Now, not only do you have to balance home and work, you will also have to balance the material side of life and the spiritual side of life. The North Node is about our spiritual way forward, the South Node is about our experiences that we've already had and our talents, so you need to balance those and use those talents, use your experience to go ahead long into the future. February sees all the planets moving in a direct motion. This would be great. It's a time you can really go full steam ahead. This happens from the 4th. On the 1st of March there is a triple conjunction. Now this is between Pluto, Mars and Venus. Now triple conjunction is a very powerful energy. This happens to be in your 12th house. So it's a very difficult one to handle because you won't always know what's going on when you have a planet in the 12th house. It kind of works behind the scenes, but there will definitely be unconscious desires. We have Venus and Pluto. This is an unconscious desire for love and closeness within relationships. We have Mars and Pluto, which will be an unconscious desire for ambition, for power. So you just need to be aware of these and see how they manifest on the outside. We have Venus together with Mars being very artistic, so there might be a time when you want to express yourself in an unconscious way and bring out what's within. This would be a great time to express yourself in that way. We also have the fact that you may be a little bit more withdrawn than normal. This is a good time to do any spiritual practices. This is a good time to meditate and to gain power within. The most difficult aspect of the year is in April on the 5th, when we have Mars coming up to Saturn. Saturn's in your 1st house. He's been there for some time, and he's kind of revamping you as he goes. Saturn is a great teacher. He's trying to teach you lessons and trying to get you on the right track, so to speak. And the work you do with Saturn is always rewarded more than, he gives more than he takes, that's what I'm trying to say. Now, with Mars coming up to Saturn, your energy may be thwarted or you may be held back. This is only going to happen for 4 days, so it's just best to step back a bit, let this aspect pass. because otherwise it can be like banging your head against a brick wall, and that can be quite painful. On the 12th of April we have Jupiter coming up to conjunct Neptune. This is probably the biggest event of the astrological year. This only happens once in a while. The last time it happened was in 1856, and this was the time when Sigmund Freud was born, and he changed the world's ideas with his psychoanalytic theories and of psychology. So this gives you a flavour of what this aspect can do. It brings a new awareness. There'll be a collective change of heart for us. And it'll be very good for healing, because there'll be a lot of spiritual energy around. And this will bring us help with healing from the past 2 years of the pandemic, so that we can all move forward. The conjunction happens at 23 degrees of Pisces. Now, the 2 and the 3 coming together brings knowledge and creativity together. It'll also increase in compassion and diplomacy. 2 and 3 add up to 5. 5 is about versatility. It's about bringing variety into your life and changes. Now, with Venus contacting these two later in the month, it will help you, because Venus will help you to visualize. Venus and Neptune is very good for this. And Venus and Jupiter together will help you with relationships and with your finances. This is a good time to use the law of attraction to attract what it is you desire most. On the 29th of April, Jupiter makes a sextile with Pluto. This is a time when you can gain inner power. Pluto's in that unconscious area, don't forget. Jupiter will expand that now. It's a good time to use that power wisely. You'll find yourself grow in confidence, and you'll be wanting to express yourself in a much more confident manner. On the 30th of April we have our first eclipse of the year. This is a partial solar eclipse in Taurus, and this is your 4th house. This eclipse belongs to the Saras 6 North series and is renowned for bringing responsibilities and commitments to you, and this will focus around the home and family. Also, it focuses on relationships between father figures and authority figures, so this will come into the fray as well. Now, the eclipse is conjunct Uranus, so there'll be sudden and exciting things happening around this one. The 4th house is about long-term planning, so it's time to put these plans into action. Start changing things around the home maybe, or putting the house on the market. Whatever it is, start the changes going with this eclipse. In May, Jupiter moves into Aries and your 3rd house. So now the mind will expand. You can learn untold things. Also, there'll be chances to travel within your locale. And also, it will be very interesting because you'll be getting on very well with family relatives, and you could benefit from some of those. Communications will also increase. It's a good time to reach out and network to people. It's a good time to increase your awareness as well of people. This is all about the intellect. This is where you're going to grow the most. So communication is vital to that growth. On the 10th of May, Mercury goes retrograde, and is retrograde during the eclipse on the 16th. Now, Mercury retrogrades back into Taurus, which is your 4th house, and there's a strong focus on that 4th house this year. So you just need to be very careful with things related to the 4th and the 10th house. Now, when Mercury's retrograde, communications can get misunderstood. Mistakes can be made, so just make sure you read everything clearly before you sign anything. May sees our first total lunar eclipse of the year. This one happens in Scorpio. This belongs to the same series, so again there'll be responsibilities and commitments to take up, and again there'll be issues with authority figures that need sorting. Now, the eclipse in Scorpio means that there'll be a chance now to show yourself, to show your worth. You may be thrust into the limelight. You may have to take responsibilities all of a sudden. And there could be big changes ahead in your career or your destined path. Now, the other feature of this eclipse is that you need to balance, because you've got the Sun in Taurus and the Moon in Scorpio. So these need balance. You need to balance the spiritual side of things with the material side. You need to balance home and work. And you also need to balance the future and past here, so that you can bring things and maybe use your talents from the past, use your experiences to push yourself forward towards the North Node. On the 31st of July, there's an opportunity to break free of past limitations. Uranus conjuncts the Moon's North Node. It's in your 4th house. We've had a big focus on the 4th house this year for you. Now, this conjunction means new and exciting things can happen. You can learn new things, you can experience new things, and all this will help to open up the path ahead of you. With Uranus conjuncting the Moon's North Node being your future and your future path, it's sometimes quite fearful to go towards the North Node, but you need to do this now. You need to be brave, you need to take a big leap of faith. Now, Uranus, the planet of sudden change, can bring this on very quickly, and you could find that over a few days or a few weeks that you're totally going in another direction. Maybe a door open, maybe an opportunity, maybe listening to someone and they tell you something that's vitally important for your future. Just keep your eyes and ears open and take any opportunities with both hands. On the 9th of September, Mercury goes for his 3rd retrograde motion, but luckily this time he's going direct before the solar eclipse on the 25th of October. Now, this eclipse happens in Scorpio, and it belongs to the Saros 6 South series, which is renowned for bringing power and control into our lives. Now, this is happening in your 10th house, so there could be power and control now within your career, your chosen path, or your public standing. This is a good time to use it wisely. It's a time to get ahead, get noticed. This eclipse series also brings great strength within relationships. So this is a good time to develop relationships with superiors and really dedicate yourself to your cause. The 8th of November sees the last major astrological event of the year. This is a total lunar eclipse. This happens in Taurus. Now, this is the 4th house, so the focus again turns to the home, but there's also balancing to do between home and family. The eclipse is the same series as the October one, and this is all about power and control and how you use it. Now, there's a lot of other planets involved in this eclipse, because we have the Moon, which is conjunct Uranus and the North Node, and then at the other end of the scale we have the Sun, which is conjunct the South Node, Mercury and Venus. So there's a lot going on with this opposition. So this is a point of balancing again, home and work, the material, spiritual side. We've already had this in the past, but now this is coming to a highlight again. Now, there's an added complication with this eclipse, because we have Saturn squaring both the Moon and the Sun and those other planets. This forms a T-square. Now, a T-square can be a very challenging aspect, and the best way I always think to deal with a T-square is to focus on the empty part of a cross. Now, Saturn is in your 1st house, so this is where the limitations and the difficulties will lie. This is within you, so it's how you deal with things which is the most important thing. Now, the empty part of the cross is your 7th house. This is where you need to focus your energy. This will turn the T-square into a grand cross, and this will be dynamic energy that will flow a lot better. Now, to convert this, you need help. And this is why you need to focus on others. Now, you need to look for either a mentor or someone who is wise or learned, who can teach you something, who can help you, and they will be able to help you overcome the difficulties with this T-square that you have. Now, personally, with Saturn in that position, there will be challenges for you to overcome, and it's good then to get the help and advice from others. Don't try and do it all alone. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the review for 2022. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. If you'd like to leave me a comment, I'd love to hear from you.